guys, we're live, and I'm like grossly underprepared, and I did not clean my glasses, so I'm gonna do that now. I see there are people saying hello. I will say hello in a second. Um, I was distracted. My brother's band released a new song, so I was posting on Instagram, and I was like, oh wait, there's like 10 seconds before I go live. Um, anyways, so today we're doing a live stream because I didn't do one last week. I've been doing like what these live streams like every single week, like since January. I can't remember. Anyway, so I missed you. I'm not sure like how long I get to like kind of keep up with the consistent live stream. So whenever I can do one, I'll try to do one. Um, it depends on if I get a job. But I will always try to be as consistent as I can in the meantime. But how's everyone doing? Um, I'm doing good. What did I do today? Oh, I edited a video. I was like, what was I doing before now? Like, okay, so I have this thing. Hold on, I didn't even check if my settings are right. Let me see that the microphone is the right one. Yay, it is the right one. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, I have this thing like when I get into hyper focus, like even though it makes no sense and I'm aware that I have a thing to do, I'm just like I'm not paying attention to the time or whatever. So I was kind of rushing because I was editing a video and kind of getting all of the thumbnail stuff out of the way. It did not take long to edit. Like you're gonna have to bear with me because these are not gonna be edited like movies. But like I miss posting videos. So I edited one that I filmed 2 days ago, yesterday and the day before. It was pretty simple. What I realized is I yap a lot. Like I talk. So when I film videos, I just need to be like just basically film less because if it's like a 50-minute video, I'm not gonna edit that shit. Anyways, let me say hi to you guys because I have been yapping. Everybody, thanks for the people who came early and said hello. I see your comments. I hope that this can get you through the massive writing slump, and also that I get through my mini writing slump. It's not that big because I've been writing like consistently, but like I'm scared. Anyways, let me just catch up with these comments. Hello, Miko. Hi, T Frog. Hi, Grace. Hi, Dallin. I have all the records next to me. I literally grabbed them. We're gonna do the record reveal. We'll talk about it in a second, but my microphone is literally in the way of the chat. I'm going to move it. I'm gonna mute you so it doesn't like. Oh no. Ugh. Did this disconnect? Did I? No, I think I'm fine. Okay, I was like, did my HDMI disconnect or my whole computer? I think I'm fine. I think. Please. Anyways, I'm gonna mute this and then I'm gonna move my microphone. Okay. So that now I can actually see that. I made these iced coffees. Please, someone tell me that like you can still see and hear me because I always have technical issues on this stream. I made these iced coffees. My grandma like loves smoothies, and so my mom like keeps buying her these like nice like glass jars so that she can like portion out her smoothies, and like she also loves giving. Like she just turned 82, so happy birthday to my grandma a couple days ago. Anyways, so she always makes her juices, and I'm like still paranoid that I'm not live. I think I am. I think I am live. Anyway, I'm like looking at the corner. Anyways, so I stole her bottles, is what I'm saying. And I made iced coffees in these, which is very nice because then I can just grab them and go and I don't have to like wait. But anyway, so I have that. I'm just not even gonna drink it, but I just saw it there. There's so many people here and I'm just talking. Let me see. Hi Sammy. Hi Deborah. Hi Reese. Hi Aaliyah. Hi Caitlin. Hi Stein. Hello. Yes, happy Friday. Yes, OMG record reveal. We are gonna have a record reveal. I'm very excited. Like I said, if I disconnect, my first of all, Wi-Fi is like, even though we've already established that I'm literally right next to the modem, it might be a bit dodgy. And then also my computer was having trouble connecting to my monitor. So if I disappear, just know I'm somewhere, just not with you. Yes, it's nice to see you, Ronan. I hope you have been well. Yeah, the plushies in the back. I really like these for pain. Like the Squishmallows have been useful like for chronic pain. Like just they're very good. But my sister made that one. I've showed it to you guys before, but the one in the middle, If you know anything about Seventh Virtue, they're like the magical birds. Anyway, so there's a giant one, where you know in like the Never Ending Story, what was the name of the dog, the flying dog thing? I studied the Never Ending Story too when I took like a uh what was it? It was a fairy tales class, and like Never Ending Story was part of it. I can't remember, and I don't remember. Anyways, Harrison basically does that with the fucking bird behind me. That was funny. So it's kind of a joke. That's why she made it for me, and it's the best one, honestly. Um, anyways, so those are just there. Hi, Jonathan. Thanks for coming. Um, oh, okay. Is that the name? Okay, I think you might be right. You probably know better than me because I that class like got interrupted by COVID, so I don't really remember. Actually, the Never Ending Story unit was like I did it at home. Anyways, it was so weird. Um, yeah, it has been a funky time, hasn't it? I'm glad I'm not the only one who's been feeling that. But okay, everyone get seated because we're gonna do the record reveal in a second. I went we're gonna write also, but you know, it's only minutes and I usually talk for like 40 minutes at the beginning of these streams. I'll try not to. But I went to the Toronto Vintage Show last weekend and like I wasn't sure if I really wanted to go because like I had to travel there and like I had to take the subway and like I'd never been to like, you know, I haven't been there in a while, like that area. Um Probably since I was like a child. Anyways, so I was like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna go. So I went there. It was so hard to get there. Hi Jade. Um it was so hard to get there because like I did have a hard time getting there. If you're in Toronto, it was at Exhibition Place. And that was fine. I just couldn't find the building. And so I was like walking up and down. I'm quite good at like, you know, staying calm. Like I've been trying to use public transit more and like, you know, to get out of my comfort zone or whatever. But like I could not find this building. Anyway, so I kept walking up and down, up and down, up and down. Like I walked for nearly an hour straight trying to look for this thing. I couldn't find it. And then a lady probably pitied me because she could see me from like walking back and forth the same building. She walked outside and was like, "Are you looking for the show?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, this is how you get." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Oh, this is how you get there." Like I was still confused. Anyway, so she clarified. It was very nice, very helpful. So I did find it. But while there, I didn't buy any vintage clothing because first of all, like vintage clothing is very, very expensive. So I will only like buy vintage clothing if I can find it like at other thrift stores. Like from vintage stores, very expensive. Um, and then also like I love jackets, but like I have a huge collection of jackets and I've been collecting thrifted jackets since I was like 15. But like in a room full of really cool jackets, like none of them were that cool, you know? Like I was like, I'm not interested in it because like all of them are, you know, when you're like at a thrift store and like you find something and everything else maybe doesn't like interest you, but you find like one jacket and you're like, oh my God, I'm taking this home. Like that doesn't happen when everything else around you is cool. So that is just a whole preamble to say that while I was there, I just looked at the records because I was actually surprised. I've never been to the vintage show before. It's really cool if you're in the GTA and can make it down. I think they're doing another one in the fall. But anyway, so I was surprised to see a lot of them had records. And what's cool is I feel like some of them were like really some of them were pretty good price. So I'm gonna show them the ones I got because that's all I got, and I got my sister like earrings, and that was literally it. I was like, I came all the way down here. I need to bring something back home. And yes, we will be waiting for you on Tumblr running. But yes, I'm gonna show you the records. That's what we're doing. If you're just now joining, I'm showing you the records, and then we're gonna write. So I just okay, not we've already know that I own this. I just grabbed everything, so I'm gonna put them aside. While I was there, so I could not find much that I was really interested in. So like let's just take you chronologically through, you know, like this long story. Where I couldn't find anything that was like that interested in. And then again, it was like overwhelming. I had been there for like standing on my feet for like 4 hours to get down there in the first place because I kept getting lost or whatever. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm probably only gonna spend an hour and then I'm gonna leave. But I couldn't find anything for like, I spent like 3 hours for like the first 2.5 hours of the show. I didn't really find anything that I wanted. But in the first 10 minutes, I found this place that was selling records. And I didn't think I was going to see anything else. So I found this Culture Club record and I had to get it because like I miss my mom. My mom is away right now. And like my mom loves Culture Club. So I was like, I gotta get this for her. Well, it's for me, but we'll listen to it together. But anyway, it has like the original what is it? Like the plastic on it. I don't know if it was like resold at one point. But it's so funny. Like, yeah, it was resold at Zellers at one point. Anyone remember Zellers? Isn't Zellers back? I don't know. Anyways, so this one's so cool. It has like a really cool booklet too. I don't want to take it out, but very nice. I listened to at least, the first track, which is Karma Chameleon on here, and it does play. So that was nice. So that was the first one. That was $10. I feel like that's good. That's a good price for like, like when you're getting it from somebody who's like selling like records and not from the thrift store. Like, yeah, I don't think that's bad. It was not bad. Then when I was leaving, I somehow like happened upon like I had been walking there the whole day, like the whole perimeter. I don't know how I found this place. I just happened upon it. Look what I found. Look what I found. Do we see what I found? Hello? Like, are you kidding? You can't see it, but like I have the CD behind me. Like now I have a mini one and I have the are you kidding? When I saw George Michael's face, because I was hungry, I was tired. Like I would get overstimulated. So like when I was looking through the records, it was like a section by the 80s. So I was like, come on, like George Michael gotta be here. And I found it and I literally started shaking. I couldn't grab it, and I was like, eventually I did pick it up. And this is awesome. This is like the best, obviously the best find ever. And it is perfect. Like I haven't listened to the whole thing, but there are like minor skips. There might have been like one skip at one point, but like really it's like from the 80s. Like, like I can't play. $25. $25. Okay. While going through that, I was also, I was like riding high. I was like, oh, I get to go home and I'm going to be totally fine. I don't even care if I don't get anything else, because like I literally brought home my best friend George Michael. I also found this. So if you are like a Wham fan, like you're just recognizing the gradient, I was like, no way. It's $20. It's damaged in the corner, but actually the record plays fine. The way that my hands started shaking even more at this point, I was holding like 3 records because I was carrying the Culture Club one around with me for like 2 hours. So I was like trying to grab it or whatever. Anyway, so I opened it, and because I didn't have time to like double check. For some reason, I didn't think to look at the side because the side has the information. What I did, I was like, okay, I know this is mine. I just have to double check. So I opened it and I saw Andrew's face, and I was like, I'm so happy. Anyway, let me pull out is it? Oh, it's on the, let me show you. It's so cool. This is also from the 80s. Hello? Like, no way. Anyways, $20. So now I have everything that I could never want anything else. If I can find a copy, of other things like in the wild, maybe, but I'm not gonna like seek them out. Perhaps I say that now, but anyways, never again will I, spend that much money on records. But you know what? For like what I think they had to play them and everything. So like for the labor involved, at least I know they like work quite well. And besides like, being folded up or like a little bit of water damage, they're in great condition. So they had 2 copies of Faith actually. One was like really like really messed up. So I got the kind of the one that was in good condition. Anyway, yeah, Zellers. I remember the creepy empty stores as it was closing. I remember a very, very, very strong memory of Zellers I have. I was a kid. I walked in and there was like a white shirt with like rhinestone, like purple and like black butterfly. And I really wanted it. But like as a kid, I would never like tell somebody, like even my grandma asked, like, oh, do you want anything? And like, cause I went with her that day. This was like when I was like 4. Anyways. And I just didn't say anything. I don't know what it was. Yellow, actually. It was a light yellow shirt with like a rhinestone butterfly. I still think about that shirt. It was cute. Anyway, yeah, he was waiting for me. George Michael, he knew I got lost. It was like, okay, listen, the last thing you see today is gonna be George Michael. And I can't complain. No, not the chunk of incense ash flying onto your laptop. I hope you can clean it up. No. Didn't know they had that one on vinyl. Had to order the CD online because they didn't release that one here. Oh, was it Music from the Edge of Heaven you're talking about? Yeah, I don't know. This one is, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know when the pressing was, but I'm assuming it probably came out. Yeah. It came out similar time. I mean, it smells like the 80s. But I was very excited to see it. I'm not trying to be a vinyl person. I know we talk about this every single time, but like I'm really not trying to start this. Like I'm a vinyl hater. Like who am I? But what's really cute is like the Faith insert has this picture. I have the 45, the single of Faith, and so now I have two. I showed my mom and my dad like on video chat because they're away, and they were like, Rachel, why do you have the same thing? And I was like, it's not the same. You don't understand. I, it's the album versus the same. Like, come on. Like, I thought you would be happy for me. Now we can all listen to Father Figure on vinyl. Like, so, I got a voicemail from who? I have been expecting phone calls, so now I am anxious. Who voicemailed me? No caller ID. Oh, it's probably spam. Okay, ignoring. They released that in North America, I think, and then they released the greatest hits album. Oh yeah, I did read that. I did read that on Wikipedia. Bo canonically pissed because he wanted the greatest hits. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like track because they had the different releases for the different areas. That's so cool. I was reading up about it when I was on the train because I was so excited. Yeah, it did sneak up on me, and I hate this. I don't wanna. Please, like CDs are already expensive enough nowadays. They're like $25 a CD. Like, no, 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 I can't with vinyl, please. Um, I'm a vinyl person without a vinyl player. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh man. It's just so expensive, I think. But now I want like for my favorite albums, I want to get the vinyl. Oh god, no. No, no, no. It's starting. I was like, I want that Faith single so bad. Then I remembered I do, but not with the original cover. So I guess I have to get another. I know, right? They have all the like a lot of them have different art on the Careless Whisper. I don't actually have. I have the single of it, but I don't have the cover for it. Didn't come with it, which I knew when I was buying it. So I wanna find it. I wanna find the art somewhere. But I don't want to spend like $20 on paper. You know what I'm saying? So um I have not been well enough to thrift for a hot minute. I'm sorry to hear, but it's a blessing in disguise. I don't have room for more books or fun. I know I've been going to the thrift store way too much. I've bought many movies. Oops. Anyways, I'm banning myself. I can't go anymore. Um, it's so hard being a CD boy in this world. It is hard. Nobody releases CDs anymore. But you know who I was surprised to see release CDs? Billie Eilish is coming out with her new album, and she released CDs, which I was like, nobody releases CDs anymore. Um, I want to get a copy of Troye Sivan's new album, but I want to buy it on CD because I love the artwork. And I think the CD is light pink. It's so cute. But I don't want to spend like $30 on a CD. I'm like, why? Why is it that expensive now? Yay, record stores. Yeah, I have another one in Toronto that I want to visit, but I don't want to spend the money. Will I still go? Maybe. So they have is it called Sonic Boom? It's downtown. They have a vending machine of 45s, and I saw somebody on their Instagram got a Bruce Springsteen one. It was I don't know what song it was. I don't know, but it was from Born in the USA, but I don't know if it was that song. Anyways, that was so cool. I was like, imagine that. And then there was somebody else got Cyndi Lauper. So like they have some cool stuff there. But I think it's like $4 like to get one or whatever, get a ticket. I want to try just for fun. And if I got George Michael, like, can you imagine? Oh, hi Pia. Thank you for coming on. We're just talking about records for, the first 20 minutes of the stream. Cuz it's been 2 weeks and I was just catching up. My first car only took CDs and my only remnants of that era are fun. Oh, and Steve Miller Band. Oh, wow. Yeah. My mom recently discovered that her car has a CD player. We had no idea because it wasn't very obvious. So now like we were both very excited about it. Because when I was a teenager, I used to bring CDs with me like around in the car because like, it's weird how much like technology has changed us in like the last 10 years. Because when I was 15, my brother bought me a secondhand copy of Room on Fire by the Strokes, and like we were going to St. Catharines, which is like this town in Ontario. And I was just hanging out we were kind of like encroaching on my mom's work trip. So my dad, my sister, and I went to St. Catharines, and I brought Room on Fire, the CD, with me. Now I can't imagine doing that now. But I brought it with me, and like we listened to the CD in the car. That's so cool. Um, My Faith didn't have the cover, but I have Careless Whisper with the cover. Oh, what cover is it? Because the one that I don't know if it's the North America one, but there's a really cute one of like George Michael, like he's kind of like tilted to the side, Princess Diana hair, and it's like pink text, I think, with like a blue background. I That's the one that I want for Careless Whisper. But I do have the they actually also had at the vintage store, they had a $16 copy of Make It Big, the one that I bought for $30, but I don't know if it worked. I think it did. So, whatever. So is life. They also had a copy of the monogamy mix of I Want Your Sex, which I already have. So it was really cool to like run into other copies. The only place to get modern CDs here is HMV, but they're so pricey compared to secondhand. Yeah, I miss it. Don't bring up HMV. I miss HMV. Oh, HMV had my heart. But the secondhand are usually older ones, and I can't afford shipping for a CD from a merch store, right? Yeah. Yeah, the CDs new are really expensive. I think they're like $25 here, 20 to 25, if not a little more. And then every single time I go to a secondhand store, I look through every single CD. So I'll just be standing there, probably the most annoying customer, but other people do it. Okay. At this point, there's people that I recognize who go to the thrift store. For some reason, we're all there at the same time, and we all have the same routine of looking through every single one of the CDs. I went to a new thrift store recently, and they had a floor to ceiling shelves of CDs, and I love CDs. I've always loved CDs. It was so exciting. It was like walking into heaven. But they didn't have anything that I wanted, which was kind of sad. But I just found out that my library has a ton of CDs. So even though obviously like I can't take their CDs, I do just find joy in like standing and looking at them. So I was doing that. They had a ton of Weezer. Like they had like every single like a bunch of them. There were like I don't know like 10 separate things. It was so cool. Um Oh yeah, spending $100 on Boy Genius vinyl and CD. Got that sad queer collection. Yeah, I want to get one of Palladium, which like I have the poster up there. Oh, my other poster fell down. I need to put that up. I want to get one of Palladium just because I love that album, but he sold out of it. I have to buy it off eBay, I think. But I don't know. I just like it's fun. It's fun. It's unfortunately for me, vinyl is fun because I don't want to spend all that shit. I can't buy CDs just because I can't forget when they were 10 to 15 or $5. I know, right? When I bought the Strokes albums new from HMV, I think they used to be like $15, like maximum. And that was not that long ago. Like, why am I spending nearly $30 on a CD? But I mean, I always buy my music, so I will invest. It's just like I have to really like it to have the CD. Find some cool CDs at Walmart for like $5 sometimes. I know they have great bins. I go there because my grandma loves country, and like they have great ones in the $5 bin. $5 bin. Um, where I am in the US, you can only find secondhand CDs, which is cheaper, but most of them are weird worship music albums. Yeah, they have a lot of those at their thrift store, where I am as well. My Careless Whisper is a black and white picture of him with his arms crossed looking up with the Princess Diana hair, and it says George Michael instead of Wham featuring George Michael. So interesting to me. Yeah, I think in the US, it was released as Wham featuring George Michael. I think in the UK it was just released as George Michael. I knew all the information about this, and then over this winter when I was like doing so much research on Careless Whisper. So now I can't really remember. But yeah, it's so interesting the different, the nuances between releases. Oh, looking that up made me find a Japanese cover that looks really cool. Now I can't live like this. I know, right? Like I see all these things and I'm like, how am I supposed to live without that? How am I um Today I was looking at all of these Wham live performances on YouTube and none of them are live. It's so interesting to me. Like they all say live and I'm like, that sir is the studio recording. Like I can't complain because like George Michael is like dancing and like looks like he's having so much fun. But like those are not live performances because I was trying to see like, how does, Andrew play live? Because I was kind of interested to see like Andrew's guitar or whatever. None of that shit is live. So, well, I clicked on like maybe 5 of them. So a lot of them were like pre-recorded for TV. But I found that very interesting because I was like, this is very clearly not a live performance. I don't know. Anyways, they were very fun either way. And it had me Googling like George Michael hair. I was like, I think I could blow dry my hair. Like, I think I could do it. I think I could do it. so glad my parents were really into CDs and vinyl because they're all mine now, basically, right? That's what I did. I stole pretty much everything. My mom has these giant CD stands that are like iconic to like my childhood or whatever. So I've gone in and I've like taken it whatever I want from there. And then my dad has a couple more CDs that he was like, you should look at these. I think I mentioned that in another stream. Yeah, this is what we do. This is like it's mine now. They don't play them. My dad told me, like, when I came to Canada or whatever, like, many years ago, like, he, like, gave away all his cassettes. He was like, "I think I might have had, like, Wham!" And I was like, "Don't tell me this. Don't." Spotifyification of the music industry. Don't get me started on Spotify. Don't get me started on streaming. I'm very, like I'm probably, like, mean about it, so I won't say anything, but, I actually do I'm saying this and I literally have Spotify up. I do use Spotify for music that I don't own, or I'll use YouTube, but I prefer to own my music. I also like I also just I'm probably just used to doing it because I also support a lot of like smaller artists, or at least, when the artists were smaller, that's when I kind of discovered them. So I just like bought their music to support them. So I just kind of got into the habit of buying music. And also like I come from a family where like I was mentioning at the beginning, my brother is in a band, they just released a song or whatever. So like I'm always used to like kind of hearing about like buying music from artists and stuff like that, talking about like payment for like musicians or whatever, because Spotify does not pay. It's like not even pennies. Um, but I do use it ever so often. I just don't like I don't it's not my first choice if I own the music. And if I like something a lot, like I will own it. Though it's easy for me to say that because I have a very limited amount of artists I listen to. I know some people listen to like 1,000 different artists, which is so many. Um, so that makes more sense for streaming, right? Um, my book addiction is enough, but I really want some CDs. The only ones I got are Blue Neighborhood by Troye Sivan and Nevermind by Nirvana. Yeah. I love collections. I have a lot of different collections. I used to collect books too when I was younger, but I don't really collect physical books as much anymore. Why is my mouse not working? Please. Please save me. Why? Okay. Well, not using that anymore, I guess. The charity shops here keep having Hugh Grant rom-com soundtrack CDs. Oh wow, I might just finally get one. Oh yeah, you have to. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's awesome. I've gotten all the DVDs of like the Hugh Grant movies that I like, except for all the rom-coms at least, right? So now I like there's no other movies that I'm really like looking for on DVD right now. Trying to find a good live version of Kissing a Fool and found nothing. There's nothing. Like they don't have that many of them. I have it was probably much harder, right, to do live performances back then too. Um I remember reading in his memoir about times where they were forced to perform with a playback. Yeah, about the Wham performance. I was like, wow, the music industry was weird. Well, at least they were vibing. I've seen that a lot. I remember like Julian Casablancas from The Strokes, and this was in the early 2000s, was like, I hate music videos. Like, we don't want to do music videos. So their music video for Last Night is literally a live performance because like the music industry like had certain things they wanted them to do. Yeah, so interesting. Oh, please find it, and if you do, send it to me. Um, um, yes, I do use YouTube probably most, if I'm streaming. Um, only use Spotify when I'm running because I run outside yeah, and I just need to get a Walkman. Yeah. Look, or you can like with CDs, I mean, there are ways to get them on your phone. Ways. Having CD and record players makes playing music feel like its own activity compared to just playing on my phone. Yeah, I mean it is, and it's really fun. I just think it's fun like to go back to my old collection because I always really liked CDs. So it's like I feel like I'm reconnecting with something, and I want to fix my mouse because did it break? Like I just replaced the batteries because it stopped working. So like why are you acting like this? Um I have another like thing here. It's not as nice. It's on my keyboard. I'm gonna put the batteries back in, and maybe that will help. Please work. Nope. It's dead. Okay, when we do a sprint, I'll get another battery. We'll do a sprint in a second. What are you guys writing? Because we'll sprint. Oh god, it's been 30 minutes. Yeah, let's sprint in like 2 minutes. um, I really regret not getting a music and lyrics CD. It had the Wham parody on it. No, not Pop Goes My Heart. This is the best song ever. I was literally watching one of the live performances, and Andrew is definitely wearing like he was like a is it checkered? I can't know. It was black and white outfit, and I was like, that is so like Hugh Grant. Like they definitely took that from the inspiration directly from that. Um, I need a cassette Walkman so bad. I have a mint copy of Caribou by Elton John, and he needs to sing. Oh yeah, it's so sad because my family used to have like a Discman, right? We used to have it was silver. I think we had it. Might have been blue. I can't remember. Anyways, oh, like why did we get rid of those? I would use that, but I do have all my music from my CDs on my phone. And there's ways to do that. Anyway, um, his ass was always wearing checkers, right? That's why I made a sticker of Make It Big. It's on my computer. I put checkers in the background. It's really cool, actually. The two of them are on it. Okay, so writing. Been writing some of the sequel to Cryptid Falls, and I introduced a new character point of view. I'm having so much fun with it. Oh, well, that's awesome. I love introducing new points of view. It can be so fun to like see like the story from different angles. Scholarly Coffee says, I'm somehow in the last chapter of my novella Honey Nymph. Oh, that's a great title. I'm scared of finishing things. Ooh, but that's so real. I am so terrified of finishing things also. And it doesn't feel like it feels good like right after I finish it, but like getting up to that point is really scary. Working on the outline for my fantasy work in progress. Okay, fun. Okay, Charlotte says, I had a pastel pink Discman as a tiny child in the early 2000s. I miss her. Oh, that's so awesome. I have a lot of my tech from that back then. Like, I didn't get rid of it. The only thing that I got rid of, I never gave it away. I don't know where it is. My uncle bought me like one of those it was knockoff, like iPod Nanos. It might have, or iPod Shuffle. iPod Shuffle. I think it was a Shuffle. Little mini pink one. And I only see Harrison owning it, even though I don't think it came out in the timeline. I think he has the Nano. I think. Anyways, but like I want it. I'm like, I want that so bad. Um, I have my grandma gave me like the original iPod. Like I think one of her friends gave it to her years ago. I just need to get one of the big like iPod charger. I need to get one from I don't know if the dollar store might have some. I want to see if it works because I would load my music on there because my phone doesn't have much. Girl, I got like 64 gigabytes on my phone, and it's like from 2018, and it's like on its last leg. Um, so like I should probably like, give it some space because right now it's running on empty. Um, Chipping away at chapter 1 of Haze Dogs. Oh, yay, baby steps, baby progress. Listen, I'm so proud of you. Like, the fact that you're working on it, your 4K or is in. Oh, good for you. Jade needs to write a critique. Okay, I haven't written a critique in so long. Okay, that's kind of nostalgic. Um, Down's writing Bo being sad as usual. Okay, I'm sorry. He's sad, but also like I eat that up. So I'm sorry, Bo. Try to work on my Heartstopper fanfic. Ooh, but it's honestly torture. Oh no, I'm sorry. Putting too much pressure on myself. Oh no, but Heartstopper's so fun. But I get putting pressure. I do that too. So I can't say like don't do that because I also do that. But I hope that you can get some progress in the sprint. Knockoff iPod Shuffle. Yes, same. My dad got me one, of my middle sibling those. Yeah, right. It was I don't know if how much music I'd put on it, but I don't know, it was probably like 2009 or something, 2010 maybe. It was hot pink. And that's kind of where I gave Harrison has one in Lost Gods. Trying to outline an idea I got for a dystopian sci-fi. Okay. I miss my iPod Shuffle. It used to be my dad's, and it was like full of Green Day and Whitesnake. Oh, Pat Benatar songs. Like, oh, that's so cool. I know. I remember my dad had an iPod that he got from his work, I think. And he would have like his demos because my dad is a really great singer. He like sounds like he loves the Beatles, like loves it. We had a Beatles themed room my whole life in my house. So he kind of sounds like a Beatle when he sings. Um, Anyways, so I remember he used to have like covers on his iPod, and for some reason he would play. I can't remember if he would, because he didn't really drive us to school that much when I was a kid, because there was a bus. but I don't know what the occasion was. We were in the car and we would listen to his little demos. So it was cute. We should all encourage my dad. If you send nice messages about my dad and musicians and like, because he doesn't play guitar so much anymore, and he doesn't like do music so much anymore. If we all say nice things about him in the comments, like I will send it to him. 71K into my draft. Just finished Act 2 and am now working on the flashback timeline before Act 3. Ooh, okay. 71K into the draft. Okay, good. Just finished Act 2. Ooh, and I love flashback timeline. That is so cool. Reese is probably chipping away at my silly little grief novella. Yeah, okay, awesome. I love novellas. The best things ever. Oh my god, I didn't mention on the stream. Okay, I promise we will write in a second. I promise. Okay. It's just been a while. I like talking to you. Yesterday I messaged Garth Greenwell on Instagram because I was like, listen, Rachel, like this is not that scary. Like people are very nice. And like when you guys say you like my writing, I'm like, this is the nicest message I've ever gotten, and it makes me so happy. I screenshot, I sent it to my mom. So I sent him a message yesterday because I've been rereading Cleanness. It wasn't really intentional. I just kind of what is this? Oh, it's like I have no idea. Anyways, I started rereading it and just listening to the audiobook, but instead of listening it to it on like 2 times speed, which I usually do because like my attention span is very small. I have listened to it on 1.25 because I think I'm healing my attention span a little bit, which is nice. Which is a little bit faster than normal, but I don't know. I could probably listen to it on regular speed. Anyways, he narrates it. It's so good. So I've just been thinking about Cleanness and the prose. It's been very good. And he replied. Guys. Like I almost died. Anyways, so that was very nice. And now I can live my life happily. Very excited. So yeah, I've been rereading Cleanness. It's so good. I'm like halfway through The Frog King again. This is my 5th time reading this book. It's crazy. It's probably like my 8th time like starting it again. I always restarted and I've reread some of the parts like a million times, but yeah. Anyways. My dad has a Beatle vibe to his voice too, and I want him to chase that, but he sings bluegrass mostly. Go Rachel's dad, get back to it. Form the next Beatles with my dad, right? Yeah, my dad is so good. He's really good. But he doesn't do me. I think he like because like his children like do music, so now he doesn't do it, which is so sad. Because my older brother majored in music and like he's really good at that. I don't know, better than me, obviously. I play guitar and like some piano. My dad is like, you're so good at piano. I'm like, girl, I don't understand that instrument. Like, I don't, anyways. And then obviously my other brother's in a couple bands. One of which, by the way, is like one of their songs is in an A24 movie. It's so cool. So I can't wait to watch it. The one with Justice Smith that's coming out soon. The event of the century for me. Right? I've been abnormal ever since he said he's coming to the UK again, right? Like I died. Like when I wasn't expecting a reply. I really was not. I was not expecting but it was so exciting. I sent a long ass paragraph too, like but basically being like I just really like you, right? But if you send him a DM, like probably will reply. But it was very nice. I love when authors reply, made my life as a tiny child and makes my life as a 22-year-old who has read this book so many times since August, those interactions are so special. So happy for you. I had a moment like that with Melissa Fabos. I think you mentioned that since I used one of her books in my grad photo shoot. Amazing, right? Yeah. It feels so good. And like, honestly, when people I had somebody come up to me at an event recently and it was so nice. I love when people come up to me. So like, I don't think most people will find it weird anyways. And if they do, they won't reply, so it's not a big deal. Danny says I'm writing a royal fantasy story and I'm at the point where I have to figure out how to defrost the heart of the king. Defrost the heart of the king. That is super cool. I like that. Is it literal defrosting or like what is the word I'm thinking of? Not literal. What is it? Oh man, the word is not coming in my head. Famous writer Rachel and Famous Brothers band being featured. Yeah, I'm really excited for him, and the band is called Proper. So he's in 2 bands, my older brother. Oh my gosh. Carter Sickles replied to my DM when I said I was using his novel, my dissertation. Literally motivated me to keep going with it. I've been meaning to read it. I know, like since last year, I think I've been meaning to read it. Oh, that is so cool. I love when they reply, but I was not expecting that from Garth. It's just so like because I've been listening to the audiobook like all day, so it was like so cool. Figuratively is the word I was looking for. Okay, I'm gonna set up the timer because I really do need to go get a battery for my thing, and I have been talking for forever. So we'll do 20 minutes because I just haven't shut up. So we have plenty of time to write. I'll talk about what I'm writing after so that we have some time here. But let me present because right now it's so awkward using my computer mouse for this. Um, Here we go. I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. Bye. Okay, so that was the end of sprint 1. How did that go for you? How did that go for me? I don't know. Where did I write to? I'm not really sure how much I wrote. No idea. I don't think I read a lot. I'm just trying to see, where did I leave off? I don't know. Here we go. 461 words. You know what? For me, I had no idea what I was what I was writing about. Like, that's not bad at all. I'm kind of stuck. I had like a really like solid couple of days. Like, and it's funny because like I say that I'm stuck, but I've been having like very, very, very good months, like in terms of writing. I think I've written like 20K a month or so, like somewhere around that. It's a lot. Like, not really intentionally or anything. It's just kind of like been happening or whatever. So what's been happening is I've been having like kind of these um higher output days or whatever, and um then I kind of like they kind of like take a break. They kind of like pause or whatever. Kind of in one of those pause moments, and it's just because like I don't really get it. I think I need to talk it out loud. But anyway, let's catch up with you guys. Hi Agnes, thanks for coming. Got 253 words, which is nice. Okay, that's awesome. Pia was making lunch. Okay, awesome. 473 words from Charlotte. Short stories parodiism though. There's no point. I am simply having fun. Okay, that is also fun because stories that like have no aim can like this is like me in Lost Squads. It can just be fun. Like you just keep writing it, like whatever comes to it comes. 177 words, but I don't know how good these words are. Still trying to get my sea legs on this part of the book. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you with the sea legs on this part of the book. It's a new part of the book for me as well. Talk about it in a second. And it does feel exactly like that. Trying to get your footing. I only started really writing in the last few minutes. That's valid. I did get batteries from my mouse. So I also only started writing, I don't know, like 15 minutes in or so. Hello, thank you for coming. I am sorry, I always ask you every single time. Is it Tierra or is it Tiara? I'm going to try to remember better for next time. Aaliyah wrote 325 words for my outline. Okay. How do you outline? Like, what's your process for outlining? Is it like just like brainstorming or like, I'm curious. I'm always so curious. Jade wrote 3/4 of one page critique, 427 words. What are you critiquing? I'm curious. Like, you don't have to share anything about it, but is it like a short story or that's so cool. 81 words. Okay. Half a page. Danny says maybe 200 words. Yeah, that's awesome. It's Tierra. Okay, I will remember this. I will remember. Thank you for correcting me. Got caught up looking for flower arrangements, but I wrote about 280 words. Like flower arrangement, like for real, like or like as like details. Because either way, that's cool. Reese wrote 77 words because I got caught up in researching DVD releases in 2003 and 4. Can you share? Like, I need this. I need this information. This is so like relevant for my timeline too. Yesterday I saw a video on Instagram of Hugh Dancy talking about Ella Enchanted because like I guess it's been 20 years since it came out, and so that was so cool. I want the DVD of Ella Enchanted so bad. I look for it every time I go like to the thrift store, but I don't know if it's like in the children's section. It might be. It might be sometimes they're not in the right places. So I just don't have the patience to look through all the children's DVDs. That's why I haven't really looked for it properly. But I do own it. I have like the digital copy of it because I was tired of not being able to watch it whenever I wanted in like HD. I mean that's like one of my favorite movies. So, why am I talking about Ella Enchanted? Anyway, yeah, with the DVD release. I love doing little research like that though. Like the time specific details is so cool. 150 words for scholarly coffee that I fully just pulled out of my ass. Okay, that was me writing as well. Agnes writing a prologue for a new project. It feels so wobbly to be right. I love how you described that. Like I get what that like, like writing the first bit of like a new project. It kind of it can actually just feel exactly like how you said it, wobbly. Just came back and only wrote a few words. Okay, well, a few is better than none. Even none is fine. As details, writing mommy issues. Okay, that is so cool. What did you kind of like settle on in terms of what did you settle on in terms of the flower arrangement? I had to change the title for my work in progress because it was already used. Oh, It's called The Riot Woman. Interesting. Oh, it's so interesting when titles kind of are. Honestly, it depends on like how like kind of popular the thing is. Sometimes I don't worry about it so much if it's not that popular. Or if it's like very popular, I don't worry. You know, like it's sort of different when it's kind of in the middle. Anyway, Dallin wrote about 400 words, but Scrivener is saying my overall word count is higher than I think it should be. So I'm like, did I duplicate something? Because where's the ghost paragraph? Oh, interesting. Maybe. Um, do you write like a crossword and Scrivener? Because I wonder if like the tool is different. Like maybe it's just like kind of the difference in how many words it's counting to. I don't draft in Scrivener, but maybe I should try. People who draft in Scrivener, like, is there like a tool? Like, is there like a thing you love about it, or particularly? I wanted my mains to watch a contemporary movie, and I thought it'd be funny for them to watch National Treasure, but it went theatrical literally when the book set. So they're watching Halls. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's so funny that now they're watching Holes. I think that's a good choice too. Okay, Dallin hitting 19K whilst writing now. It says I have 19.8K. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, so I mean, you could either be coming upon 20K or like there is a ghost paragraph. Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it just wants to be there. Oh, it's a poetry critique that Jade's working on. 2 poems, just in a constant state of trying to replicate uni writing workshops. I feel that. I feel that. Oh man, I haven't workshopped a poem in so long. Mostly because like I don't know many poets. I don't think. Yeah, I have like my friends or whatever, like from poet, but I don't really stay in contact with many of them consistently. So it's kind of hard to find people to critique poems. Ooh, okay, more updates on the flower arrangement. Hyacinths, tulips, and I'm torn between tiger lilies or peonies. Ooh, I go with like whatever sounds better. But it's kind of hard to pick between tiger lily and peony. They both sound great. Okay, we're getting insight on Aaliyah's outlining process. For outlining, I literally just write a synopsis for what happens in every scene, connect them in a causal chain. I love that. I love that. That is so cool. That's a really great, I think, method. I think if I had to outline, I would probably go with that method too. Scrivener feels so official now. I haven't drafted in there since Nano. I'm just throwing pebbles around Google Docs. Like, interesting. Yeah, I haven't gotten into drafting in Scrivener. I don't know why. I have my outline in there. But it's mostly because I really like how you can move things around in Scrivener. So I kind of use it for that. I use it a lot more for 7th Virtue. Sunless Ground, I just, I don't really use it so much. But it's good to have. It's a good tool. Trying to work on a novella, TRS says, but no matter how much I work on it, I think it's just meant to be a long short story. Oh, long short stories are cool too, though. I like both short stories and long short stories and novellas. I think those are 2 mediums I want to explore more. Obviously, I love novellas. I like how I can nest files and documents in Scrivener so my information is one place. Yeah, I get that. I get that. That makes sense. I think I'm so like used to my process that I like have a hard time like kind of visualizing it somewhere else. But what I like about Scrivener is it's also not a subscription. But Word has me with like the natural sounding voices. It's got a grip on me. Currently drafting in Scrivener. Oh, okay. And making a new little page or document thing for every session because my progress killer is reading back. Oh, reading back. Oh, interesting. That is so cool. Making a note for every session. Oh. Also desperately need everything visible to me at the same time because object permanence. I get that. I think that's one of the reasons why I really like Scrivener. I can't have that much like really the only documents I have is like my notes document and like the actual book and then like the trash pile where I cut out things. I barely use that for Sunless Ground. And then if it's too much, I just get very overwhelmed. Scrivener feels really clean to me, but at this point I've used it for 4 years. Interesting. Yeah. Huh. I think I'm so used to Word. I just haven't tried it, but I kind of want to. I have 7th Virtue like copy and pasted into Scrivener. I just never wrote it actually in there. Dallin says, I just used to jump between Word and Scrivener too much to me, and it took like an hour to organize everything between the two. So I'm trying to keep everything in one place. Okay, plus Scrivener has more writing-specific features. Love its duplicate screen feature for editing as I go. They have a what now? Can we elaborate? What is... Maybe I need to get on that. That is cool. That is cool. Yeah, I like just duplicate documents, but like editing, like, can you see, like, how does that work? Everyone's talking about the dual screen. I'm very curious. Have one screen with all the prose I wrote for fun for this chapter, and then one screen for the official write up. Interesting. I have because I got it with like the coupon code or whatever, so I got it years ago. I haven't really explored it that much. I'm trying to write. Agnes says a big novel for the first time, and I'm quaking in my boots. Writing a big novel is very scary. I feel you. I was talking about this, but like I've been kind of avoiding like writing like a novel. Like I don't want to write one right now. But I keep getting this like cool idea. I have a couple ideas. I was talking about like doing a Mothwork rewrite, but then also like Lost Gods, which I'm working on right now, like the Harrison novella. It's a novella now. It hit 10,000 words. It's a novella. Like long short story, my ass. It's gonna be a novella now. I thought it was gonna be a short story. Lies. Um Anyways, so I keep thinking that would be a really good novel. Like the actual concept would be really cool. Um, I think. I think it would be cool. And then I think doing like dual narratives of like two like past relationships with it would work very well. But like I have no idea how to approach that. Like I literally have no idea. Like I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just kind of thinking about it. But even if it goes nowhere, the actual concept of Lost Gods is very interesting to me because there's so much to explore. Like this like slightly unstable 21-year-old is like left alone for the first time in a new city after like moving back from like an old city where like he had a mental breakdown and his mother had to take him across country. And so, like then she leaves him for a while and they had like a weird relationship because they just sort of like reunited or whatever after like being estranged. And then there's like there's like the mother thing. Like I mean, my books are very interesting is what I'm saying. Like the actual like concept of them are interesting, but like I want to write them in a way that is interesting to me now too. I wonder if I gave Mothwork to somebody and like if they read it, if it would read like an actual novel. To me, it doesn't because it's mine, but like maybe to somebody else, it would be like, oh, this reads like, this reads like cleanness. My God. No, I can never say that. Submitted recently CBC Poetry Prize. Yeah, good luck. That was so fun. The CBC Poetry Prize when I was shortlisted for that. That was really, really fun. I don't think I haven't submitted to CBC prizes in a while. The dual screen is a game changer. Okay. I need to try it then because I literally have Scrivener. Right, I got it with the nano discount too. I would not have paid full price for it either. I was like $50 still with the. Yeah, I got it a long time ago anyway, so by now it's kind of like paid off. But I did use it. It was very useful for outlining Seventh Virtue. Back when like Seventh Virtue was very overwhelming for me, like world building, so I needed all the information in one place. For Word or Libra Office, because fuck Word for being subscription based. I know, right? Like I pay for that. Why am I paying for that? I really only use it to put everything together. Yeah, I like Word. I just think I'm used to it though. I've been using it since I was a kid, so I'm just used to it. And like, I'm very hard, like very rigid. Like I don't like change. So and I also do use Word for other things though. I do use it for like formatting things if I'm like printing one of my books or something. It's useful also. The dual screens, like pages within the doc that you write in, are called text, and you have multiple one of those up at once. That is so cool. I can't even imagine. Like I can split screen with Word, but they have to be different documents, so it's not like in the same document. Oh, thank you for telling me this. All the way on the right in the toolbar. Okay, that is so cool. I know some people have themes for Scrivener too. Like that's awesome. I'm sorry if I already missed you, Olia, but thank you for coming. Also love the composition mode where it's full screen because you can put your own photo in the background. You can what? That is so cool. You can do full screen on Word. I know they had full screen on Word for Mac for the longest time. They've recently added it to Windows, but you can't do a cool background. 10 documents for the Heartstopper fic, and I hate it. Oh, I feel that. I try organizing, but it never works. I have like 564 potential chapter titles. Yeah, I have a video talking about how I organize my documents, and it's just the same. I just put like the title and then like a dash and then whatever it is, like, outline or character or something, log lines. I need to have a Rachel book on my shelf. That would be so fun, right? Ugh. when is that gonna happen? I've given up on my short story collection for now because it just doesn't make sense to work on it. So maybe it'll be a long time from now. Process is weird sometimes, though. I couldn't imagine writing a short story in Scrivener. To me, Scrivener's the novel program. Oh, that's cool. I like that you kind of have a different like. Yeah, I guess I feel that way with my notes app. Like it's like different functions. Hello, barely human. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I would submit. I just don't want to pay the $25 entry. um, I'll have to look and see what poems, because like I mean, obviously the last time it paid off, but like the last couple times obviously hasn't. So I don't want to spend money. Only annoying thing about Scrivener for me is the incorrect spelling thing. Oh no. No. That would bother me. But Word is also annoying in that way. I think you can turn off Word like from saying certain things like oh, this is offensive language. I don't give a fuck. You can turn that off. Oh, right, like when you get fun with prose, like sorry for using synth as a verb. I love that. It will happen again. Yeah, I think that's valid. That's great. Looking through my plot outline for the sequel, which I've titled Sleepless Cities. Oh, beautiful. I love that. And it's so funny. Past Me was so unserious. I love finding like, little old work or whatever previous work and kind of seeing where my head was at. I can only notes app if it's an idea in my head. Like I can't chronologically draft in there. Oh, that's so interesting. I think it depends. I think I notes app draft. Like, for example, with Seventh Virtue, like where I was writing Sunless Ground, I just use the titles interchangeably. I'm always talking about Sunless Ground. Sunless Ground. I was writing it, like I didn't want to write it in my document. I didn't feel like writing it but it's actually true. I think I might have skipped ahead. I wasn't chronological necessarily. But if I'm like avoiding something, I'll write it in my notes app. Like if I'm I'm writing chronologically, but I'm avoiding the next scene, like I will just start it in my notes app. Scrivener is convinced one of my characters' names is not spelled correctly, even though it is a real name, and I've told it to learn spelling. Yeah, that's one thing. I don't think you can teach Word how to learn spelling unless you can. Anybody knows how. I thought you could, but for some reason, like I don't know. So what's annoying, like, or at least learn. Not yes, you can. You can learn spelling, but what I'm saying is, my brain, pronunciation, learning pronunciation. It used to say Lonan's name right, is what I'm saying. Like the robots used to read his name right, and now they say his name wrong, which I think is kind of funny. But it kind of takes the vibe, like it messes up the vibe. Like it used to pronounce it perfectly. Now it pronounces his name Lonan, which is funny to me. Which is another way to pronounce the name. So it's not wrong. It's just like it's not how you say his name. And like Microsoft Liam used to say it right. He just doesn't say it right anymore. I don't know what happened. Notes app is for when the same scene idea hits at 2 a.m. You're staring at your phone in pitch darkness in your bed. Yeah, exactly. That's what happened to me. Like, I wanted to share part of it, and then I second guessed myself because I was like, this is kind of bad. Which I'm trying not to like think about, like, because that's like mean, because like no one cares. And honestly, whenever I read anybody's writing, I never think it's bad. So like whatever. But I wrote a scene last night in my notes app where Augustus from Lost Gods like brings Harrison food, and then like starts getting like increasingly concerned for his well-being, which is like basically the whole plot of Lost Gods, because like he's like basically he's kind of fathering Harrison, and Harrison really doesn't like that. Just because he's like, are you fine? Like, are you okay? Like, because Harrison is just kind of being like a college. He's like he's the diet of like a college student, basically. Anyways, and so Augustus is like, are you fine? Anyway, so I wrote a whole thing about it yesterday. And Harrison's kind of annoyed at him. But I don't know if it's really turning out well. Scrivener's perfect for me because I need 10 versions of the same scene. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I can see that being very useful. I think it would be very useful for Lost Gods, to be honest, because I have no idea how to order that book. I have no idea. It's 10,000 words and it's all disjointed, which is kind of cool. Like in a sense, I feel like I could just kind of like play into that, like not actually link the narrative, just like keep them as like 25 separate scenes or whatever that don't intermingle at all, and it's kind of random. But I don't know. We'll see. I tried thinking about how I wanted to do it, and I just couldn't figure it out. So it might just kind of exist as like this random 10,000 word thing. I don't know. I do my first outline on paper. Okay, and then write the details in the draft document. I think outlining on paper would be very helpful. I used to do it physically as well, and that helped. Free Microsoft Liam from the loan and mispronunciation. Yeah, it never used to say, like, it was only recently in the last maybe 2 months has started saying his name Lonan, which is so funny because I've been listening with Word. I've been listening to them read my work since before they had the natural voices, like with Microsoft Linda and Microsoft David. Microsoft David was like, oh, so good. And Linda I used to use a lot. Microsoft Zira is like I know so much about the Microsoft voices because I've been using them a lot. But Microsoft Zira is like the robot version, like not the natural sounding like AI voices. And so she was really good, but she's the American one, so you would have to change your document. But Linda's like the Canadian one. I would use her a lot. And they even said his name right. So I'm like, what happened? Do you need a father? And Harrison is trying to escape out the window. I know, like he doesn't want to hear this. Like, Augustus is much older than him as well, and so I think there's something interesting going. I have to figure it out. I don't know. There's something very interesting going on between them that I don't know if Harrison can see because he's not really paying attention to it, and therefore I'm not because I only see the story through his eyes. So I kind of have to look at it from Augustus's perspective. Yeah. Anyways, if I were to write the novel, because I love calling characters by just like, their like occupation, I would just stick probably to the artist. I don't think I would name him. I think it's so cool, like that being his whole thing. Anyways, Rachel, the way we're total opposites about sharing work. I write something and I'm like plastered on the internet now and catch several out of place commas after. Okay, listen, commas are a state of mind. It's totally fine. But also, like, I'm like pretty on it with sharing. I'm just trying not to like. I don't know why I would feel like insecure about it. It was just this one thing I was like, I don't know about. I don't know about that, so I just didn't end up posting it. But I had poised myself to. Lost Scott Harrison and Until and Felix are the same guy, basically. I think so. I don't disagree. Does that mean that Felix needs to have like the Princess Diana hair though? Because I was like, Harrison, like you kind of low key have Princess Diana hair in Lost Gods. So I've also discovered I like writing separate scenes. It was super helpful with my short story Wolf Mother, and now I'm doing it with other things. I discovered I like. How did I read that so wrong? I also like discovered I like separating scenes. Yes, okay, I read that right now. That makes sense. That makes sense. Like, what do you mean? Like writing them like separate from each other, or like not like or having like a break between scenes? Because I use a lot of breaks between scenes now. I used to kind of transition just paragraph to paragraph, and now I can't do that. I want to do more with unlinked scenes. What Belongs to You felt very unlinked. Oh, did you finish it? I'm curious what you thought. Found it very interesting, like thematically linked, but not very narratively linked. Yeah, What Belongs to You is so exactly like that, actually. And then there's that whole section. Garth Greenwell does a great job at that. The whole section that's like very removed from the story where like you jump back in time. That was so cool. Sammy says, I'm back. I had to take a shower early because no one told me my nephews would be here today. Oh, well, I hope you have fun visiting with your nephews. I think my novel, Persephone, hope I'm saying that right, might kind of just be that the whole way through. Yeah, the unlinked scenes. I think that's so cool. And also, that's a really cool title, I think. Dallin says there's a whole chapter that's just about the narrator mom visiting him and the interactions they had with a boy and his grandma on on public transport. Yes. At first I was like, why are we here? But it was interesting to me. I always listen to that part. That's the end, right? Of What Belongs to You when I'm on a walk. And it's so interesting. I'll just listen to the whole section, like going around my neighborhood. I've done that I read What Belongs to You, I think 2 or 3 times. I think 2 times. Both times I did the same thing. I loved that section too. It's so interesting because like this chapters I didn't think I would really like from What Belongs to You and Cleanness. Those are like my favorite ones, like Mentor. I have read Mentor so many times. Everybody read Mentor. It's online, but I think it's behind a paywall. because it, like, those are short stories too. So some of them he's published separately, but that is so, Mentor is so good. And I love that section at the end of What Belongs to You. Oh, so good. The Princess Diana hair. I think Loverboy Felix would be more likely to try and channel Princess Diana. I think that probably makes more sense too. But yeah, I kind of want to see if I can blow dry my hair to be like the George Michael hair. I'm like, come on, like I have layers, like it's longer than it looks, because like look at my bangs, right? Like the shrinkage is crazy. So I don't know if it would work, or it might, the extra length. Ooh, What Belongs to You thoughts. I did finish it. I enjoyed it a lot, but I want to reread it in parallel to my Cleanness reread. Garth Greenwell always needs at least 2 reads to me. Yeah, I didn't like What Belongs to You as much as Cleanness, but it's not like I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and I don't like to compare them because they're 2 different books, right? It's not fair to compare them. But I recommend both of them. I think they're both really excellent at doing very different things. And I think it's so interesting that in What Belongs to You, Miko actually has a name. Whereas like in all of the other works, right, in Cleanness, nobody else has names. There's just like letters. So it's so interesting. And then like R is also in What Belongs to You too. So if like you haven't read Garth Greenwell, What Belongs to You is the first book, and then like Cleanness, I think, is like the sequel. I don't know if they advertise it as a sequel, but it's like the second one. But I read Cleanness first, and I feel like it was kind of cooler to read Cleanness first and then read What Belongs to You, and then read Cleanness again, and then read What Belongs to You again. And then I had like a good understanding of how I felt about both of them. But What Belongs to You is very popular at my library, so I can't often get like the audiobook. Whereas Cleanness, I hog that thing. Okay, there are many copies. Okay, I'm always listening to that audiobook. It's so good. What have you missed? We were just writing, and now we're just talking, and we're gonna do a little bit more writing in a couple of minutes. There's the finding out what happened read, then finding out what he's doing with the prose, right? And that like there's so much less prose in What Belongs to You, right? Like it's actually the setup of What Belongs to You, like it like reminds me a lot, which makes sense because like Garth Greenwell has taught classes on Giovanni's Room, but like the setup itself, like the vibe felt a lot like Giovanni's Room, because it's just like the 2 characters, right? And like not much happens in that book. It's such a good book. I like both of them, yeah. But like Cleanness is my favorite book ever. Like it's hard to read anything else and like like not think about Cleanness because it's so good. Hello, hi Lee. I feel like you can see his prose style developing in real time. Oh, and you like read it like with your eyes? Because I haven't read What Belongs to You with my eyes, like any of it with my eyes. I want to get a copy of it. I actually have never read Cleanness fully with my eyes alone. So I'm so interested to see, because like yeah, you can hear differences for sure in prose, but like I want to actually see it too. So cool. Made me feel better about my past writing because I think it's just so cool. Yeah, I think so too. Kind of seeing that development in real time. I wonder like what past me would think about my writing right now, because it's different. It's not as Emma Klein, so what would I think about my writing now? I think I like my writing now, and I wonder what me from a couple of years from now is going to think. Disappeared to make lunch, only to hear about characters eating like a college student with my pizza pockets. I have pizza pockets in the freezer. I will get one. But yeah, the excerpt that I was talking about with the college student, Harrison was eating like a college student. Augustus like ends up like kind of just pulling an adult or whatever, and he like goes around his like kitchen and just starts like grabbing like food for Harrison, and Harrison does not like that and bothers him. But I need to find like there's some an emotional thing, and I don't know what it is, because he's also not used to like having any parental figures. I think like because Suze is very new in his life again, he doesn't know his father anymore. It's been a long time, so I think trying to think about what it feels like for him to have a like to be parented, like he doesn't like, and then also like the relationship is obviously like it's a romantic relationship for a little bit. So like what does that feel like? Anyway, there's a lot of like complicated, like nuanced little parts of the relationship that I need to dig into, and it's one of those things where I think it just is going to take a lot of time to sit on it. Like reading it with your eyes. That's how I say it, because like I don't know how else to say it. Audiobooks and reading are different angles. I'm on my third re-listen of These Violent Delights. Yeah, I've been meaning to read or listen to that, and I can't imagine reading it with my eyes, but I'm also curious. That's me with cleanness because, like, also I can't imagine like listening to Garth Greenwell speak because like I'm so used to hearing his voice in like the audiobook. I'm like, oh wait, that's his voice. But like I love that audiobook so much. Like reading it, I can still hear him, so it's kind of like best of both worlds. I can kind of see what he's doing with the prose. But what was cool is before I had my physical copy, like I couldn't always access cleanness at my library, like the ebook of it. So at one point I had to like kind of guess where the punctuation was. I'm so curious to go back to where I thought the punctuation was and like refer to it in the book. Because that taught me a lot about writing, like listening to something and then trying to punctuate it myself. Um, right, the semicolon. I had no idea Garth Greenwell was using semicolons, nor did I know he was using comma splices until like I actually, saw it with my own eyes. Um, I feel like Harrison's a stray cat being lured in from the streets. That's kind of his vibe, actually, in Lost Gods. It's kind of intentionally that way. Um, that it really doesn't take place over a long period of time either. It's only like 1 week, I think, where he knows Augustus, which feels weird because it feels like several months. Letting Harrison sniff my hand. Oh, oh, poor thing. He's going through a lot. But it's so funny because like it doesn't feel like it in Lost Gods. So like sometimes like my empathy, like I have a hard time like actually like empathizing with what it took me like 2 years to empathize with what Harrison went through in Mothwork. So sometimes it takes me a long time to actually connect with. Someone will be like, "Oh wow, that's like really sad," and I'll be like, "What?" And so then it takes me a while to actually to empathize. And when I do empathize, like it opens up like really big avenues. It's not that I don't empathize with the characters. It's just like sometimes, like right now with Reeve, I'm writing Sunless Ground right now. I didn't even talk about what I was writing, but I'm really struggling to like empathize with her at all and empathize with the other characters. And because of that, like the emotionality isn't quite where I want it, but whatever, it happens. Lock Harrison in the spare bedroom to socialize improperly with the rest of the household. That's kind of what he's doing in Lost Gods. Like he's just like in this like artist studio, like just chilling. Like he's just like using all his resources, painting with all his shit, eating all his food. And that's kind of his thing. Okay, I'm gonna set up another sprint, another one for 20 minutes, and then because I need to stop talking for a second. My voice is getting tired. So let me set that up. I don't know what's happening with what on earth I'm writing. I have no clue. But I don't know. We'll find out soon. I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. I was muted. Okay. We're back. How did that go for you? I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm gonna turn on this light here. I think I kind of hit a stride. That's kind of nice. This section of Sunless Ground has been kind of confusing me in that, like, every single time I think I have a grip on it, like, I don't. And it came off of, like, a patch of writing, like, when I had gone, like, to the library. Actually, I mentioned it in the writing blog. I'll post tonight probably. Um, like, it was a really, like, quite a lovely writing session. Like, everything just kind of poured out of me, and then, like, right after that session, like, it just kind of died. So I think I've kind of hit something. My problem again is, like, the empathy thing. I'm, like, lacking sort of, like, an empathy with Reeve and sort of, like, trying to kind of understand her perspective. I don't know if I get it right now. It might take some time, and then, like, I can kind of come back and tweak it, um, but I think I might have hit something. Maybe. Why didn't my thing just freeze? I please, please, internet, be with me. Anyways, let's talk about it. How it went for you guys. I think I might have hit something. Like right as it ended, I was like, huh, I think I might be onto something here. T Frog wrote 256 words. Oh, yay! Jade finished your critique, then stared at a poetry talk for like 5 minutes. Yeah, I didn't start writing until like 15 minutes in because my grandma brought me a Jamaican patty, so I was enjoying that. That was nice. Agnes says it's so weird writing this prologue. My main character is in her 20s, but thinks in this sharp, childish voice. Interesting. 165 words. Awesome. Okay, well, that's still, I mean, amazing progress, but that's an interesting voice. Huh. I actually didn't check to see how much I wrote. I never remember, to be honest. Oh, here. Thankfully, I ended off on a scene. It was like 450 words. I don't know how I wrote that much, to be honest, because, like, I don't know. I didn't feel like I wrote anything. 156 words, did more movie research. Oh, I love that. All it confirmed for me is that I really, really need to watch Happy Together 1997 already. I haven't heard of it. Now I have to look it up because I'm always like, I have been trying to, why is my internet at one bar? Don't do this to me. I'm creating a list right now of Harrison's favorite movies. So I'm always looking for movies from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Oh, this looks cool. Ooh. Oh, cool. Well, that looks awesome. I'm gonna put it on my list. Yay! I'm happy you hit a stride. Yeah, it came together for me a little. I think I'm kind of getting the conflict. It's because right now I'm writing a conflict between like Reeve and Darren, and it's like, what is happening? Like, what is the conflict? I don't know how they feel, and it's kind of different because like they're like engaged now. So I'm like, I think there's different there's a different dynamic, and I'm like, I'm not very used to it, and it's just kind of new, and so I'm like, I don't know what's happening anyway. So, and then something happened that kind of like, it's a lot. So I'm just trying to figure out how they both feel about this thing that happened, and I just can't. Maybe that's the point. Maybe they don't know. You know what? Sometimes in writing, like the characters will feel a certain way, and what I do, like when I have no idea how they feel, is I just lean into them not knowing. I did that a lot in Feeding Habits, and it helped when I couldn't figure out the Harrison chapters. Okay, 574 words because I wrote Bo going on a run, and I was like, you're so me. Okay, I love that so much. I think I'm gonna go on a run after this. I know I probably should rest. Like, I know that I should, because like you're supposed to, but like I am so excited to go on another run, and I'm not sore. So I'm like, can I go? Like, I feel like it's okay. This would be like the third one in a row for me. Cause like I've been loving them so much. I can't imagine not running again until like Sunday, like when the week starts. To be fair, like I only have today or tomorrow because my week for running um starts on Sunday because I started on a Sunday. And then I didn't run on Monday or Tuesday because of probably anxiety reasons. I don't know. So like maybe look up today, but I feel like it would be fun. Um, and yeah, I love that Bo is a runner. There's that one paragraph in Changing States. I don't know if I ever shared it anywhere. I think I did on my one of my reading videos. I'm gonna pull it up. Mostly because I miss Jeremiah, but let me read some of your comments first. Ronan wrote 404 words. Okay, the mommy issues are issuing. Slay. I love that. 363 words for Stein, 242 for Scholarly Coffee. Started writing with the OG main character again, says T-Frog, and she's about to go through it. And I'm kind of dreading it for her, even though I'm the one who made the plotline. I feel that. I just did the same thing for Reeve. And like now I'm on the other end and I'm like dreading. I feel bad because I'm like, obviously I went like there was this thing that happened that she has to have a reaction for, and now I'm kind of like being mean because she's having a reaction to it. Like, what's wrong with me? Love her so much though. Like I should not be mean to her. Anyways, the rest days are most important when you start doing the longer ones in the program. Yeah, okay. Then I don't feel like it. I think it'd be fine. I want to listen to cleanness. I've been like alternating between like cleanness and wham when I'm going on my runs. I started a running program for people who don't already know. I started Couch to 5K. I'm on my second week and I fucking love it. It's so good. And this is coming from somebody who like I would like, not that people like, I guess like people kind of did make fun of me. I think I'm just like not remembering it properly. But when I was a kid, I was so bad at running. And I think it was like motor skills issue because when I was about 12, I kind of like grew out of it. And I would be so astronomically slow, like much slower than everybody else in my class. And it was so embarrassing and it would cause me so much anxiety. And people would low-key like make comments about it. And so I always felt like really embarrassed about it. I was always like known as being very bad at like running in sports or whatever. So like that's coming from somebody who like hates running. But I've always wanted to kind of get back into it and actually create like a solid routine. I've really been enjoying it. It's been so fun. I'm on the 25-minute one. And when I woke up from a nap afterwards, I was so sore. No. Okay. Well, first of all, 25-minute run. Good for you. I can't wait. I can't wait. Like, I don't even care about anything else. I just think it's so fun. Like to do, they like feel like quests to do each run. They're so fun. Always missing. It's always missing Jeremiah hours for Rachel. Yeah. I was about to pull up his paragraph where he's on a run. Yeah, I think it was in my excerpt video at the end of the year, but I like this excerpt because it's really like based off of my life. Hold on, where is it? I mentioned like me trying to find the specific details so I can search for it. Here, let me find it. It's like based off of my life. So he's on a run. I'll read it. And when I would visit Maryland, like this is kind of just details that I had, and so I put it in here. This was one of the last paragraphs I wrote before Changing States started to like feel different in my head. I don't know what happened, but it's not like it went bad or anything. So this is Jeremiah on a run. And this is the start of part 3, which I want to name the parts of Changing States. I just never did. Changing States is so good. Like, I want to share it with more people, but like I'm scared because like to me, like I really liked it. I didn't like part 4. I thought part 4 was kind of like there, like it needed more development between part 3 and part 4. I think part 4 is the last one. My sister's almost done reading it now, and I loved it when I read it, and I want to share more of it with more people. I'm anxious about it. I don't know, but I think it's because nobody else has read it in full except for me. So anyway, Jeremiah running. Okay. On the morning of the funeral, Jeremiah rises at dawn and goes for a run in his neighborhood, which is so nice. I don't run outside. I wish I could, but whatever. It starts misting as he crosses the street from the development, but he doesn't turn back for an umbrella. The grass is jeweled by dew, the road silent at this time, like the brief pause between ending credit songs, and he enjoys this, the quiet and the infrequent flash of headlights as he jogs past the Amish market he and his mother used to visit to sample cheese. He inhales a brisk shot of rain as he passes the Korean grocery store he'd stop by every day in 10th grade because a restaurant inside sells jjajangmyeon, and he'd go in so often the woman at the counter memorized his order. That was just me. He slows as he nears the park he and Kara used to play at as children, him on the swing set, her on the monkey bars. A father and son are out this early, both bundled in fleece jackets. The young boy climbs to the silver slide. his curly hair haloed by early crests of sun. When he reaches the steel deck, he glances up and smiles, missing two teeth, and on the way down, Jeremiah waves. I love that paragraph. It's so good. That's like flash fiction to me. But all of this is my life. Like, the slide, like my childhood park, like has this slide, and so I just think about that, like the silver slide. That shit used to get like hot as fuck. Like you will burn like if you go on that slide. And then like the specific park that I'm thinking of is another one that my mom used to take us to, and it was always a treat when she would take us because this wasn't as close. So it was always a treat when she would take us there, me and my siblings. And then like same thing with the cheese. Like my grandpa would take us to this Amish market to sample cheese, and then the Korean grocery store thing actually happened. It's just literally me. It was so funny. It was so funny. The lady was like, "You're here for Shenzhen," and I was like, "Oh," like she clocked me. And it was worth it. She made really great jajangmyeon, though. I think no, I'm not gonna say it because I will sound very, very like audacious. I was gonna say like I think mine is better now. I think I got to a point where mine is better. Which is kind of evil of me to say. Anyways, um, I love just the exclamation points, Jeremiah. I miss him so much, and I haven't worked on Angel Face in a while because I've been really stressed out, and I don't want to work on it when I'm stressed out. I'm not so stressed. My Wi-Fi. Okay, I think I cut out, so I'll repeat what I was saying. Just to intro that he does it, but maybe if his boyfriend forever Jeremiah had been there. I know, right? Like, where are they to be running buddies? Um, it would Jeremiah is so alone on his runs. He doesn't have anybody else to go with him. Like Harrison would not do that. Harrison's not exercising. Like he's not doing that. So, they're kind of made for each other. Bo Ran in his neighborhood do their soulmates. I know, right? What if they like cross paths, at the end of Changing States, and then like they're at a party and like Bo is dressed up as a vampire and has like in I never sent this to you. I need to send it to you. Maybe if it is fine, I can post it on my side blog. If not, I'll message it to you. Let me know. I never sent it to you at the end of Change of States where he's actually there. Anyways, um, so if only they met up and then Jeremiah's like inspired to like maybe he'll go to San Francisco. He doesn't know. He does say that. Maybe he did go. I don't know. I have no idea. One slide at my Catholic preschool had hundreds of ladybugs on it. Oh, that's cool. Hundreds of lady. I was about to be like, oh wow, like that's kind of like, but then I realized no, ladybugs would be actually really pretty to look at. Yeah, it was so cool changing states. I was because my sister had no idea. She had no idea like what changing states was really about, and so I had to explain to her like the event that like inspired it. And I she actually did not remember like sort of the experience of like that was my experience of like we have to go to Maryland, but right before we go to Maryland, somebody dies. That's what inspired Changing States because that's exactly what happened in Changing States. And so she hadn't thought of that. And so I thought it was so cool, like to kind of like show her like all the details. I think for me, what is nice is like, I don't know, I just like that, like it's like a little time capsule, I think, of my life, right? I get to look back on it. There's no other project for me that has been that way, where it's like intentionally my life. Um, I will happily send it to you. Um, I have been meaning to. I think what was it? It might have been one sentence that I've been meaning to tweak, but I think I did. If not, like whatever, it's just a sentence. Fine. Um, hello, hi, thank you for coming. We're just talking about writing. And Jeremiah and running. There's a line about how Bo thinks about running near the Golden Gate Bridge, but decides it's too touristy. And I thought about the line of Jeremiah taking a photo of the bridge. Yeah, that is literally that's so accurate. Jeremiah does do that. And he's like thinking about, oh, that nice man that I that I met. I love doing that. I think it's so fun to be able to do little crossovers. I've been doing that with my sister's character since I was a kid too, so I think it's really fun to do with other people's too. Mm. Hi, Laura. Thanks for coming. We're just having like a really random conversation. um, oh, the ladybugs. They'd always had them when we slid down. They'd launch themselves around me, blocking out everything. But the rays of sun. That is a poem. You literally wrote a poem. This comment is beautiful. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. Um, Making myself emotional, even though the main character has a tragic romance. This novella is mostly about her relationship with her half sister. Something about tragic sibling relationships destroy me. Okay, you're in the right place. I love writing about sibling relationships like that. My sister and I were talking about Jeremiah's relationship with his younger brother and kind of talk about Jeremiah because I always think of Jeremiah as like, there's no doubt. I hate like categorizing people as like good people and bad people, right? But I think it's interesting to think about the flaws in somebody that I see as like an abundantly good person. Like I view Jeremiah as like an excellent person. He's like, I don't know, a much better person than me. I think. But we were talking about it because I thought it was so interesting that like he didn't make any effort to like go back to his family for like 5 years as somebody who like for him like family's really important to him. So we were thinking about that, and then also like because the last time he saw his brother was like 5, and then he goes back and his brother's like 10, right? So it's like a very different like developmentally. And there's a line I think I shared on here about how like Jeremiah only like has like his sister, like his oldest sister, to like thank for like his younger brother even like remembering him, because like if it wasn't her, like he probably wouldn't really remember her. I think it was interesting because my little cousin didn't remember me at all, like in the pandemic, and would have been around the same age and hadn't seen me for like 3 years because of the pandemic. And so when she saw me, she didn't know who I was. I thought it was so interesting. So I was thinking about that and how he didn't go home. Not at all. Like even when he could, like over the summer, or he just didn't go home. I think it's so cool. I think those like the nuances in a decision like that. Like why did he do that? You know? And I mean it impacted his family too, so. And then he only goes back when he needed help. You know, it's so interesting. Not for anything because everybody's flawed and everybody makes flawed decisions, but I think it's so interesting. I think, I love him as a narrator. Ugh. And yes, Bo does need to lovingly bully him for being a tourist in the city. Yes, he is visiting. I'm sure Bo would take pictures of like Las Vegas, and then like they can lovingly like like co-bully each other. I think that would be fair. We did do the sprints already. I don't know if we'll do another one. We did 2 20-minute sprints. So we did 40 minutes of writing. Working on my middle grade horror. It has a literal plant lady monster. That's so cool. I love that. I love plants. I think plants are so cool. I wish I knew more about them. My sister knows quite a bit more like about house plants than I do. So I got her a book recently. I think that was published in the 70s, and it's really cool. And I also kind of got it because I wanted to look through it like for foster research because he likes plants, but I think a plant lady monster is very cool. Horrible siblings are nice. I like what you said at the end there, Agnes. That's so funny. This Nano, I'm focusing on my drama romance. My goal is 10 chapters. Most I have to edit, and it's the final self edit after 7 years. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, final self edit after 7 years. Oh my gosh, that must feel like really exciting, like to get to that point, like to the end. Oh, just finishing something is just really fun. So congrats on making it toward the end. Her name is Mrs. Sundew. Oh, love that so much. A bit on the carnivorous side. Listen, you guys are all in the right place. This is so cool. I love that concept so much. Yeah, we should be friends. I had started something that I think Alan had said when we were on a sprint, and I wanted to talk about it. Talking about because I think I saw I think it might have been Ronan talking also about Emma Klein too. Like the Emma Klein's prose, like the girls level of why am I reading this so badly? The girls level of prose. Still like it. But the last year I more But in the last year, I more have one or two lines. Yeah, right? Like that in a paragraph to pop out rather than it being the whole style. And like I love that. So I was like, I need to start that and talk about it because like I feel so similarly right now in my style. And I think it's so interesting like how styles develop over time. And I think I talked about this in oh my god, the lines. Okay, I need to move forward. um I talked about this in one of my previous streams, but like I did an essay on style on Substack, and I think style is such an interesting thing because like it's something that like it's just ever evolving, right? Like you can even have a style for like a month, you know, and I think it's so cool to be able to map the development of your own style. And then like thinking about like details as like wanting one or two to pop out rather than all of them. That's just me. I think there's also like an intrinsic like I think I saw somebody today on Tumblr say something. I can't remember what it was. It was so good. It was like details are to enhance, not I can't remember. It was not to not overwhelm. I don't know if it was overwhelm, but it was to enhance. And I love the idea of thinking of details as like an enhancing feature. Because I think in detail it's also fun, like body back, for example, was like very, like very superfluous. Like that was the point. It was supposed to be very overwhelming and kind of like ridiculous, like the prose. So I think there's like, I don't know, it's cool how you can like change styles too for voices. And I love the idea of like having somebody who's like very inspirational at one point, maybe not so much now. And then like how do those like kind of literary godparents like change over time? Like right now, we obviously know my literary godparent. Don't have to say. And so I think I will look back on this time like a couple years from now and be like, oh, that's so cool what I was trying to do there, having, you know, been able to take what I learned and like mold it into my own. It's so cool. Anyways, so I just want to talk about that because I thought that was a cool comment. Um, Emma Klein helped me push my prose though. Yeah, right. I'm tempted to reread some of The Girls in Hindsight. I haven't ever reread The Girls in full, but I have read and studied so much of it, like extensively. I wrote essays on the girls. I wrote assignments on the girls. So like I know the text very like kind of deeply. Not like not the end. I don't really remember the end so much, but the beginning, especially the beginning couple chapters. Yeah, the writing was like very, very, very important for my development as a writer. And I think it's so cool that other people also had that same development with the same writer. And then like how like our writing kind of splits off at some point. I think that's cool. Um there's one Tumblr post I love about this. That's like a story is a house, and some lines are stained glass windows, but only yes, I love this, but only stained glass windows can't make a house. Some lines need to be walls and beams. Yeah, exactly. And I think like think I really get I don't know, I love when like being impressive like in my prose. I think it's fun like for me like having like an impressive line or like when people react to impressive lines or when I react mostly like to impressing myself basically with my writing. But what's funny is like what I admire most about writing in hindsight, like when I went back and I reread Changing States, I didn't really look at like, oh, that's like a really good line. I was looking at like the writing as an overall and I was like pointing out like, oh, that was like a great line of exposition. That was like, you know, like a strong kind of just normal sent, you know, like I wasn't really thinking of like, oh, that's like a great specific detail. It was kind of cool to see how overall it kind of functioned as like a solid narrative. So it was interesting like what I noticed later, like coming back a couple months later, and then, you know, the impressive line didn't matter so much as like, I don't know, the other things around it, things that I didn't really think about before. Um Agnes says my style shifted so much as I started studying prose. Yeah, that's when mine really like I think I was aware of my writing style. I was writing in my writing style from about 2018, 2017, 2018. No, yeah, 2017, I would say actually before 2018. But I wasn't really aware of it until I became aware of other people's styles. So that was kind of interesting. Jade says this is making me think a lot of like when hyper detailed realistic prose is done so deliberately, almost to distract or orchestrate. Just read Sophie McIntosh's Cursed Bread, which is like this. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that is like exactly how I wrote Body Back because it's supposed to. Yeah, I like how you said it. Distract or orchestrate. That is so cool. And how like the actual writing itself can kind of become part of the plot. So cool. That was me with On Earth Where Briefly Gorgeous Dev pushed my writing to, and I wrote 2 essays on it. Now I don't think I'll read it again just because I've moved on. Need another Vuong novel though. I saw a girl reading this book on the bus, and I was like, I need to read it. I know that I'm very controversial for saying this, but I don't really like Ocean Vuong's poetry. I don't love it. Like, which is funny because one of Ocean Vuong's poems is like one of my favorite poems ever. It's the Amazon poem in Time is a Mother. But I don't really like the collections that I've read like as a whole. So I've never picked up the novel, but I've been meaning to because I'm very curious to um kind of see like just like a different style or whatever. And I'm also curious to reread some of the poems too, because also I read them digitally and it's kind of hard for me to enjoy poems digitally. But I know there's a controversial thing for me to say. I don't really say that around writers. I feel like it's kind of like, don't say that. But I can never hate poems. Like even like poems that I don't necessarily, I love all poetry. So anyways, I just thought it was kind of interesting because I've never read the novels. I'm excited because I was like, I forgot about that. I need to pick it up. Um, but yeah, that Amazon poem, if you can find it, I don't know if it's online. I think it's Amazon purchases of a former nail salon employee, I think might be the title. So good. It's literally so good. I cry every single time I read that poem. Um, I used to have a very lyrical writing style, but I was so insecure about it in high school and removed pretty much all of that style that came naturally to me. Now I'm trying to regain some of that. Oh, interesting. I think, yeah, the insecurity in writing, I think that's also a valid thing to point out too, how sometimes like being insecure about your writing can like make you change it. I remember when I was writing Feeding Habits, I was so cognizant of the fact that what if I send this to like one of my friends who I admire, like for example, as a writer, like, or somebody like I don't know, that I admire, like reads this or whatever. And I like it, oh God. It got problems. Like it got problems in my writing. And it would take me like hours to like solidify like one paragraph or like a sentence, for example. Yeah, man, that was rough. That was a rough time. But I did eventually get it. I did eventually get it back. So I don't know if that's encouraging. And I was able to sort of like just kind of settle back into my style. I didn't even think about it at one point. I remember actively having to fight myself when writing the new chapter 8, I think, in Harrison's point of view. Like a year later, I rewrote a new chapter and I had to fight myself to change every little thing. And now looking back, I didn't change anything because like it reads like how I write now, which I think is so interesting. So like, the writing style today that you don't like you of the future are probably going to be like, oh, that was good. And even if you don't, like, I don't ever look back on my old writing and be like, the writing style, like, is bad. The only time I'll look back on my writing and comment on the writing style is when I know I was trying to do something that wasn't authentic to what I wanted to do. Like I was trying to be somebody that I wasn't, and not in a way where I was like, I wanted to do that. Anyways, interesting. I really struggle reading beautifully written books. Something about it makes me nervous to finish them. This is so valid too, because Changing States is very dense, like the way that it's written. Like, and I didn't really think of it as being dense, but then I realized, like, oh my God, the paragraphs are so long, and like the writing itself, yeah, no, it's very dense. And then my sister was like, talking to me about sort of the pro style in both Body Back Changing States, and like she didn't say it was dense because like she didn't say it that way. Like, said like maybe rich is what she said. Like the prose like is very a lot, and in both is intentional. So I thought it was so interesting because I was like, that is so true. It really does impact the readability. Like cleanness, it's easier for me to listen to it than it is for me to read it, even though I learn a lot reading it. It's just the writing style is it's gorgeous, but it's a lot, right? Dallin says, in my era of pushing the language of my prose, the way he used poetics in his prose there was very interesting to me. I think this would very much appeal to me as both a poet and a fiction writer. I like Night Sky with Exit Wounds, but I haven't felt like picking up Time as a Mother. Night Sky with Exit Wounds, for some reason, like, I don't know if it was just the way the ebook was formatted, but I didn't like the enjambment, but it could have been like, and that's a very picky thing to say, it could have been literally the ebook. So I'm curious to see if I can like find like I don't know, like a copy of it somewhere. Maybe my library has it, because I also enjoy poetry more when I have it physically. Time as a Mother, I did like Night Sky with Exit Wounds more than Time as a Mother. Time as a Mother was great, and it has the Amazon poem in it. It's a lot about grief though. It's a great collection about grief. Um, yeah, it was good. It was good though. Because I like all poems. I like all poems. I always think about my prof I've mentioned who was like in his 70s and like he always had such a great outlook on poems. Like no matter what the poem was, even if it was like bad or like whatever, it didn't matter. I was like, oh, this is a poem. Like it's so exciting. I can't hate on any poems. I love Ocean Vuong's Night Sky, but couldn't finish Time as Mother, so I'll be controversial with you. Interesting. Yeah, no, I don't know. I read Night Sky with the Exit Moons like years ago, so I'm curious to reread it now because also I didn't really know how to read poetry. So maybe it was then. I don't know. I don't know. Time as a Mother killed me. Read it back to back with Jeanette McCurdy's book in the same month, shortly after my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was just a moment. Yeah, it's a really, really, really touching collection. Like, I think emotionally impacted me more than Night Sky, but I loved them both. They were both great. Um, not like, not necessarily like I don't know, they're not like my favorites, but they weren't like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but they were good. Like I would recommend them to people. Why is my computer saying my battery's very low? Plug it in. It is plugged in. Please don't scare me like that. Um, yeah, the premise of Time as a Mother is too close to home, but sometimes I pick up Night Sky again. I also like the way he talks about writing. Yeah, I think so. I think I admire Ocean Vuong a lot as well. And I think for me, it's not about like collect because like a lot of poetry collections I don't like every single poem. Like I never think of collections that way. Sometimes my favorite poetry collection I like one poem. So I don't like is a hard word when it comes to poems, right? It's like, oh, I didn't like it. But like what does that mean with a poetry collection, especially because there's so many different there's so much in a poetry collection. But yeah, I loved there were 2 or 3 poems in Time as a Mother that I think are just really excellent. But yeah, the Amazon poem. Oh, so good. um oh right. Yeah, thinking about the Amazon poem a lot. Yeah, it was a good poem. I have it on my list of um I have a huge list of my like a document full of all my favorite poems. Um feel like my writing will always have a very 2000s nostalgic feel. So losing that I think will really affect my mental health. Oh, I get that. Yeah, I think there are certain things about our writing that is, that makes like me happy. For example, I love the fact that my book is also set in the 2000s, the mid 2000s. And that makes me very happy. So if I didn't have that, I don't know how happy with me about it. I think I really learned to like embrace like the culture of like sort of the time too. It's really easy to finish poetry even when it's not my absolute favorite. So I have like this tolerance for it. If you can tell what was meant, great enough for me. Yeah, I think the only time that I don't like enjoy a poem is like when I can't understand it at all. And like understanding is like like a very like vague thing to say in poetry because I don't mean like cognitively understanding. Like I want to have some sort of like emotional understanding or like something, but like I could never like because every single poetry collection is going to impact somebody different. Like the one that I have displayed there, 100 Lovers by Richie Hoffman, when I finished it, I was like, I didn't really like this. And I was so wrong. It's my favorite poetry collection. So I think it's so interesting, like, how, like, I could have thought that I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And then, like, I kept thinking about the poems. And then I was like, wait, actually, this was the best poetry collection I've ever read. Um, so yeah, that's why I love poetry because it never feels like, the same way you can kind of think about prose and like I don't know black and white or whatever, and it's teaching me a lot about reading and like sort of kindness in reading. For me also it's hard for me to be hard on books period because people spend so long writing those. Like I would feel really bad tearing them apart unless like there's like good commentary or reason to do so. But that's why I don't really do ratings on books anymore because I'm like I don't know. Like, who am I to rate this? uh, find it hard to dislike poems just because of what poems are. Right. I'm just happy that the writer wrote them. I can't even complain. I'm like, oh, it's a poem. There's nothing really that I fully dislike about poetry. Um, trying to read more full collections. I really want to pick up an Andrea Gibson collection soon because they wrote one of my favorite poems. Ooh, cool. Yeah, I'm like a poetry collection fiend. I really recommend 100 Lovers if anyone is looking to read some really excellent queer love poems. It's literally like, come on, Garth Greenwell wrote the blurb for that collection. Like, it was meant to be, okay? Like, it's like, if you like cleanness, you will like 100 Lovers by Richie Hoffman, and you will like Physical by Andrew McMillan. They like seem they're like very, very like similar. I love poetry. Oh, I love talking about it. Okay, I love poems. I was born in 2005. Oh my gosh, my first memories of life were like 2005, so that's fun. My first book is set in the early 2000s too. My current work in progress is set in the 2010s. Oh, the 2010s don't get enough credit. I think the 2010s are fun. Poetry does make you think deeply. I just love like feeling things when I read certain like words together, even if it doesn't make sense. Like I feel certain things, and it's really nice. I wrote a poem recently. Well, I finished it, called He's Listening to the Killers. Should I read it? I don't usually read things just in case I want to publish this anywhere, but to be honest, I don't think I'm going to. And if I do, I'll just take down this playback. Let me find it. Let me see if I can find it. Doing a poem reading with Rachel at 5 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, He's Listening to the Killers is a poem that I had like half written in this notebook. Actually, it's right here. I can show you. Did I tell you I finished like the first like cartridge of ink from this Muji pen that my brother got me, the fountain pen? I finished it. I had to buy more ink. I was so excited. Look how much I've written in this notebook. Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? That is what? Anyways, let me see if I can find it. So I will read the poem, and if I do end up wanting to publish it, yes, I will delete this video. But anyways, this was the beginning of that poem. Feb 2024, probably. God, the thing on the other side, I don't even want to look. Okay. So let me see if I can read it. Let me just read it. I haven't actually read it out loud, so it'll be interesting to read it with you. Let's talk about it. Let's see if it works. Okay, here it is. And then I will probably log off. Okay, so He's Listening to the Killers. I haven't read a poem since workshop. I'm nervous. Okay. He's listening to the Killers in the other room while you braid your hair. You know his favorite choruses from the way he hums, the same cadence he laughs with when you wash his hair in the kitchen sink, when you beat him at bowling, when he cries at the end of Charlotte's Web. He's not a gentleman. He talks too loudly about Cher in the supermarket, cusses cluelessly in line with little regard for who's listening, carries a daddy long legs to the balcony on his bare thumb, doesn't flinch when he nicks himself chopping onions. But he winces at sad dog commercials, frowns when a cloud he likes inevitably disappears from the sky. He once said he likes the sound of endings, the singer's final breath, the last note, the smoky stretch of reverb. He buys you flowers from the convenience store when he thinks you're not looking and keeps the dead stalks because he can't part with them. He spends the night by accident, fingers curled in your hair, and you don't mind because you can't part with him. Every time he sings about love, he finds you somewhere in the apartment and points. Ah, it was so good. Okay, I did a good job. It was good. Okay. And what's funny is I think I wrote that scene already. Like, the You're Like the Sun is a chat book that I'm writing in Jeremiah's point of view. And I think I wrote that over, like the last image with I don't know where. I don't know which novella it was in, where like the image would be that like Harrison's like, I don't know, singing into a fucking like hairbrush or something, and like finds Jeremiah in the room and is like, this song is for you, basically. I don't know what I wrote it in, but I think I already wrote that. I just can't remember. Anyways, so that was good. I love that. I think I slayed that. Let me catch up with you guys now. Okay, we love projects set in the 2010s. I love this time period. I know that I'm mostly like mid to late 2000s, but 2010s is so fun too. My ideas for novels I'd potentially publish are set in the 2010s, which is weirdly nostalgic now, but to be honest, it's because I wanted contemporary, but no COVID. Yeah, I could never write anything. Like, anything that I've written has been like 2019 and before, okay? Finishing ink is so satisfying. I know, I was so happy to have finished the whole thing. It felt really good to like look at like the cartridge and be like, oh, I wrote my whole book using that, you know. 2030s to 70s. Ooh, interesting. Um, I used to write poetry a long time ago. I haven't written one in forever. Yeah, I think writing the chapbooks has been useful because I wrote When He Goes, He Is Gone. Should I read one from there? Should I? Should I do it? Let me grab it. This is the chapbook that kind of inspired me to write a whole bunch of chapbooks, and this one is the Mothwork adaptation. Do I really want to read something from here? Let's see. I don't know. That other one was such good vibes. But anyway, this was oh, I wrote a poem. I'm like, oh, I was talking about Ocean Vuong, and I wrote a literal poem after one of his poems. So it's funny that and it's literally one I think from Night Sky with Exit Wounds. So it's funny that I'm like, oh, thought about that girl like writes a whole poem about poets will do that to you. Anyway, so I wrote this whole chapbook, and now I'm writing another one, and I've written 4 poems, I think, for it. It's been useful, I think, at like giving me something to write about, because usually I only write poems about myself. And then of course I was like, okay, if I can't write poems about myself because I want to write poems, but I don't want to write them about myself, I can write them about Harrison. Like I know him, like I know myself. So that's where this came into play. I wrote this in June, I think, in like 3 days, not even. But anyways, I'm happy that you guys like the poem. I feel loved. Okay, everyone wants me to read something, so let me find one that, you know, let me read the one. I would like to read the one actually after Ocean Vuong, but I just want to read it again first to make sure there's like, you know, it's PG-13 is what I'm saying. Let's see. Okay, these are good lines. That line is so good. Okay, hold on. I have to read this. Hold on. Okay, so this is the one after Ocean Vuong because we were just talking about Ocean Vuong. And the poem, I actually can't remember the name of the poem. I'm kind of evil for that. I have to look it up. Oh, I'm terrible. Why didn't I put it in the book? But this one's called It's You and Him in Gauzy August, and You're Sure This Is Love. This one, I think, is in Harrison's point of view. Yeah. There's one that's in Lonan's point of view. I'm pretty sure this is not the one. Yes, this is in Harrison's point of view. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting it's a bleeding title, so I need to read the title again. Okay. Here we go. It's You and Him in Gauzy August, and You're Sure This Is Love again. You kneel to smell the currants, and he takes a photo of you by a silvery cascara. On cool evenings, you swap palm lines, fleece in dappled moonlight, pick crab apples from the yard. You believe in no God, but in a man's hands can admit you've been blessed. Such a gay line. It's like you're a mirror in June, shimmering hot because you are built to. After this ends, you'll understand why the winter takes all your eyes, wrists, teeth. Your mother is wise and says there's a reason the sun hides from itself every day. You're starting to understand what she means. In a field of young men, you could shout, you and I are the same until God only saves one of us. You'll forget all of this by September, but for now the wind is dense, your fingers swirling someone else's hair like it's your own. You are lacy, sure, in bloom. To an onlooker, all of this might be considered beautiful. Wow, this was good. So what's cool about this is if you've heard about a golden shovel, you got to look it up if you don't know what golden shovels are. But basically you take a line or like a whole poem, and each word from that line becomes the last word of the lines of your poem. So I had a quote. This is half of a golden shovel because I just kind of put the golden shovel in the middle of the poem. So the Ocean Vuong quote is, "It's June after all, and you're young until September." And when I saw that on Tumblr, I was like, I need to write about, like, I need to put that in the Mothwork chapbook. So anyways, I like that one. This is a really cool. I want to do something with it. I'd like to, like, I don't know, like make more copies of it. I think it would be nice to like send it to people, but I don't know how to even go about doing that. So I'm very happy. Oh, it is poetry month. That you guys like these. Because I think all of these poems are really quite good. I don't know what to do with the whole chapbook because I don't feel right. First of all, it doesn't feel like my experience. So it feels wrong for me to publish them because it's not about me, and I feel very like protective over like these fictional people in my head's experiences. um, so I've been kind of on the fence, and then also like I think they work better as like a collection. I know I just read one and it reads fine by itself. I just think it's cooler, I think, to read them all together. Um, I'll see if I can. I'll see what I can do with it though. I think it would be. I don't know. We'll think about it. Um, there was another poem I wrote recently. Oh, it was also kind of a golden shovel. I'm trying to see if I want to read it too because I already read two, so I might as well finish on another one. Oh, okay. This poem I posted, I think, on my side blog, but I don't love the ending. I don't know why. But this is after a French novel by Richie Hoffman, which is from that collection. It's really good. So this is called The Other, and I just want to make sure, like I said, hold on. Yeah, it's fine. So it's after these lines from French novel by Richie Hoffman, which is "You were my second lover." Another way of saying this, "You were the other, not another," which is like, so Jeremiah and Harrison. That's just so them. So I wrote this one and what's interesting, actually, I was gonna say it's in Jeremiah's point of view, but I actually don't know. Because I think it started in Jeremiah's point of view and then it ended in Harrison's point of view. I have no idea. So it's kind of both of them, which I think is kind of lovely. And again, it's a golden shovel, but I kind of like screwed with the form, so it's not really anymore. Anyways, you'll find all of these words though in the poem, the ones that I just read about, you were my second lover. So anyway, this is The Other, 2005, because the book takes place in 2005. Okay. He's on your phone playing solitaire and you think you might love him. How funny that last week you were crawling on your area rug toward him going, my God, I don't even think that I love you. The clock secondhand ticking from the kitchen and wham, untrue between you. You'd ordered chicken shawarma over the phone, you post-lover and hungry, not for more than a man, but in addition to. Another track spun on the player, his hands winging your shoulder blades the way he thought you were an angel, the way you thought God spun him of hot coffee and embarrassing stories. Him saying he once cried when the mall took down an ad of some glossy model he liked, how you loved him more for this. He'll take you dancing on Saturday night and you will count the creases his body makes in your top sheet. As a child, you were afraid of Christmas crackers, the pop and orchestral assault, the other man unfazed at your flinch. You had not considered it wasn't the sound that frightened you most, but him on the other end, how he turned in that trembling paper crown and wept for another. Okay, the ending works way better when I read it. I did not read it out loud before that. Wait, wow, that's not bad. That was kind of good. One of my favorite lines I've ever written is the clock secondhand ticking from the kitchen and wham, untrue between you, because there's the little wham quote there in the lyrics. Anyways, I like that one. That was good. So it's interesting because like most of it is Jeremiah's point of view, but the Christmas cracker thing is specifically in Harrison's point of view. So I forgot midway through who I was writing in the point of view of, which I think is like poetic in itself. So I just let the experience happen. You know what I'm saying? And I also should say that the mall taking down the poster of the model, that would be like Harrison cried because I don't know, the model that he liked was not at the mall anymore. But that is definitely based off of my own experience. Now, I didn't cry, but like when I was a kid, Aldo used to have like Matthew Gray Gubler as one of their models, and like I was so sad when they took down his picture, you know. So I used that as a detail. Anyways, I'm missing all your comments. I'm sorry. I'm catching up with them now. But yeah, those are just the poems I wanted to read. And if I ever do anything with them, I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, congrats! My first poem's being published this month, and I submitted it completely on a whim. Yay! Okay, yes. This is how I started publishing poetry too. I submitted the first prose poem I ever wrote, and it got published in Grain. And I was like, what? I was 18. And that's how I just continued writing poetry. Poetry can be anything. That's why I love it. Thank you. You liked it. We can all write like me. At one point, I never used to be able to write like this either, and then somehow I don't know how this happened. And sometimes I just have to have faith that it will like turn out because this one was kind of giving me trouble, and um, then I was able to eventually kind of, I don't know, make it into something that I really like. I'm happy that you like it. I want to do something with them. I wonder if I can like, I don't know. I was thinking about self-publishing them. I don't know. I have never thought about what to do with my poetry. Like, um, I think it would be nice though. I think it would be nice to create because it's only like if I combine them both, it's only a couple pages, right? Anyways, so I was thinking about doing that. I don't know. Because it's hard to find, places that'll publish like all 5 poems, you know what I'm saying? In one, collection. And there are like some chapbook contests and stuff, but again, like, I don't know. We'll see. Um, I'm very happy that you you guys like them. I don't get like time or places to share my poetry that much. So this is pretty much probably the only time that I would read them. But I've really been enjoying writing, I think, in somebody else's head because I'm so used to writing about myself for my poems, not anything else, that it can get tiring, especially when you know that in order to write a poem, you have to like dig into you have to like excavate yourself. And I would rather excavate somebody else. So that's what I did with both Harrison and now Jeremiah. And You're Like the Sun is specifically love poems. Um, Jesus, I'm dropping my notebook. When He Goes, He Is Gone is as a adaptation of Mothwork, so it's not love poems. Most of them are really sad. But it's very nice to write love poems. Never in a million years would I have guessed that I would be just writing love poems. I just love it. It's very fun. They do have some really good chapbook presses in Ontario. I know. Um, I was thinking of kind of like doing like a small run myself and maybe like, I don't know, taking pre-orders on them. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Because I think it would be nice. Um, my DoorDasher driver's name is Jeremiah. No way. It's a sign. Okay, now I need to write a DoorDash Jeremiah poem. Um, oh man, that would be funny. Oh, actually, honestly, 2024 Jeremiah would 100% be a DoorDasher. Oh my god, that is so him. Oh my, yeah, he would totally. That makes so much sense. Anyway, so it's been nice because I'm still able to sort of connect with their romance, but like not in prose form, and it's useful because then I get a ton of ideas for like little things that they did. There's another poem I wrote, I think, where like Harrison brings over like a bunch of like VHSs like to Harrison or to Jesus Christ, Harrison brings the VHS to Jeremiah. I call everybody Harrison. Yeah, I was talking to my Sarah. I can't say anything. I was talking to Sarah, my sister, about Lonan, and I said Harrison. Anyway, he's my whole life. Ugh, so annoying. Anyways, um, I don't even know what I was saying. It's just nice. I think writing the poems in their perspective is nice because, like, yeah, they're able to see the little scenes. I was talking about Harrison brings a box of old tapes like to Jeremiah's place. Anyway, that was cool. I want Jeremiah to deliver me takeout. I would invite him in to eat with me. Well, he would say yes. He's always down to making new friends. Okay. Bo ordering DoorDash every night. All of us doing that. Listen, I need to be his friend, right? I agree. Giggling. um, Reed says, he brought me spicy pork don and boba. Oh my god, thank you, Jeremiah. Okay, slay. He would. Ooh, okay, now I've been craving boba. Now I want boba. Maybe I should get boba. It won't get dark here for like 2 hours. I can walk there and come back. I don't know. Maybe if my sister will go with me. But she's annoying because she's like, I don't really like boba. And I'm like, then I have to go by myself every single time. Um, anyway, so thank you for listening to these poems with me. I hope that I can do more streams. I'm kind of in limbo right now. So I don't know. This might be the last one for a while. It might be that I have another one next week. I don't know. We'll kind of keep updated. But for now, I'm still trying to be active on Tumblr if you're kind of like missing me. But I hope it's not the end of the live stream, like, consistency era, because this has been very fun. have to take the bus if I want boba. No, I could take the bus. Then it would be so much faster. No, but I don't want to spend money on the bus. I'm so sorry. I would literally like send I would send you boba if I could, but we are separated by like 5 hours. And like much space. But I hope that one day you can get your boba. That would be fun. Maybe I'll go. Maybe. Because I've been inside all day. It would be nice to get out. But anyways, I think that's kind of it for me. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'm gonna upload a video like now. I just need to finish the thumbnail. So we'll see you soon. Hopefully in the comments. I'll try to reply. I know I've been really bad at the comments. I do read them all though. Thank you for coming. I missed the stream. I know I didn't do one last week and I missed it so much. So I hope that I can continue to do them like consistently, even if I have to do them on weekends. At least doing one like at least twice a month or at least once a month on weekends if I don't have time. It would be so fun. Anyways, I'm jealous. Okay, it's gonna be like 25 minutes for me, but that's not so bad. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Yes, happy writing, and I hope everybody gets boba. Bye, guys. I'm going to sit here awkwardly as the stream runs out. Okay. See ya, and thanks for looking at all my records. See you soon, hopefully.